Usually when people ask how I'm doing, the real answer is I'm doing shitty. But I can't say I'm doing shitty because I don't even have a good reason to be doing shitty. So if I say I'm doing shitty, then they say, why? What's wrong? And I have to be like, I don't know, all of it.
I was barely a teenager the first time I tried to kill myself. If I knew then what I know now, well, it probably wouldn't have changed very much. And it probably wouldn't have changed very much because sometimes it doesn't matter what you know, what you feel just takes over.
You're a millionaire movie star with a girlfriend who loves you, acting in your dream movie. What more do you want? What else could the universe possibly owe you?
I want to feel good about myself, the way you do. And I don't know how. I don't know if I can. I guess my question is, do you think it's too late for me?
What?
I mean, am I just doomed to be the person that I am? The person in that book? It's not too late for me, is it? It's not too late. Diane, I need you to tell me that it's not too late.
Bojack,
I need you to tell me that I'm a good person. I know that I can be selfish and narcissistic and self-destructive, but underneath all that, deep down, I'm a good person, and I need you to tell me that I'm good.
Todd, I'm sorry, all right? I screwed up.
I know I screwed up.
Oh, great, of course. Here it comes. You can't keep doing this. You can't keep doing shitty things and then feel bad about yourself like that makes it okay. You need to be better.
I know, and I'm sorry, okay? I was drunk, and there was all this pressure with the Oscar campaign, but now that it's over, I know.
No, Bojack, just stop. You are all the things that are wrong with you. It's not the alcohol, or the drugs, or any of the shitty things that happened to you in your career, or when you were a kid. It's you. Alright? It's you.
I remember I was wandering the empty streets of my hometown. I was alone this time, unlike that other time. And it's because I wanted to die alone.
Alright, that's it, guys. I came across this video. It's a clip from, I believe, the animation or the anime. What's the difference between like anime and like an adult cartoon or animation? Is it all the same thing? I don't know. This is, I believe, from Bojack Horseman, and it's titled Dying Alone, and it was uploaded and probably edited, curated by Miss Nightingale's YouTube channel. So I came across this video because I was looking for clips about depression when I made my video about the dangers and side effects of white processed sugar, and I came across this, and I never watched Bojack Horseman. I think maybe I saw a clip once when I was with my ex-boyfriend. He was really into animation, but everyone always talks about like how good it is. But anytime anybody ever described the show, they'll say like, oh, it's about this really depressed famous guy or something like that, and I was just like, okay, well, that doesn't really sound interesting, but it gets rave reviews. Anybody who watches it says it's amazing. So I came across a clip and I thought, okay, it's a short little clip, I'll react to it, and boy, if that is like a good example of what the cartoon or the animation TV show series consists of, it seems like a really depressing show. And I guess the question is, why would you watch something that makes you depressed? But unfortunately, depression and mental health issues is quite common amongst people, and because it's common, it's really relatable, so people can relate to this type of stuff. So I think that's why people are watching it. The animation looked really good. It looked nice and stylized. I like the style of it. But the message of the compilation that they put together, I'm pretty sure most of it was from the animation, but it seemed like maybe they mixed it in with some other voiceover. Let me know if you watch the show, if you're a fan of the show. I like the part when he says, like, it's not you, it's not your childhood, it's not your trauma, it's not your alcoholism, your addiction, it's you, you're the problem. I like that. Because I have a really big issue with people not taking accountability for their actions and blaming everything else, blaming their childhood, their abuse, their trauma, their PTSD, their addiction, their alcoholism, the substance, blaming everything else except them, blaming the alcohol, right? And I don't like that, because we all have choices. It doesn't mean that struggle with mental health and struggle with addictions and all the symptoms of that and what goes along with that isn't real. It doesn't mean that. And people can be patient with you and understanding with you because you have some childhood trauma you're still dealing with, or you have some PTSD. But still, that doesn't mean that you have a right to constantly just like fuck with people and hurt people and mess with people and break boundaries and stuff like that. It doesn't mean you have a right to be a complete dick and an asshole to everyone else around you and then never take accountability for it and blame it all on something that's supposed to be beyond your control, so it's not your fault, right? One of the things I always didn't really like the show Intervention, like I'm really like a big fan of watching the show Intervention, but there was always like these phrases or these sayings about people with addiction that I never really liked. You know, there'll be like a person that's an addict, addicted to whatever substance, and they're like literally spitting on their mom and beating up their children and stealing from everyone and robbing everyone and lying to everyone. And then they'll say something like, well, it's not Jimmy, it's their addiction, it's not Susan, it's the alcohol, it's not Becky, it's the drugs. It's like, no, it's Jimmy, Susan, and Becky. They just also happen to be addicts. And I'm not saying that addiction and substances doesn't like alter your behavior, your mindset, and your perception, and your thinking, and all those things. But I find it hard to believe that every addict was just like a pure angel, was just like a Gandhi or Mother Teresa, but then they became addicts, and then that's when they became complete and utter assholes. I have a hard time believing that. I think a lot of times your addiction exacerbates your own behavior. You're an asshole who happens to also be an addict. There's a thing called like narcissistic victimhood or victim narcissist, where people will become narcissistic and use their past and use their victimization to constantly like excuse their bad behavior and stuff like that. And so I'm glad they did that, because a lot of times people get away with that, and other people constantly enable other people's bad behavior because they feel bad about their past, their childhood, their trauma, the victimization, or the fact that they're addicted, and people see it as a disease and something you have no accountability over. But you have choices. There's always choices. If you need help, you still have to make the choice to get the help and to follow the steps that people give you so you can help yourself, right? I also like the part where they were saying that I'm so sick of you kind of fucking me over and doing the wrong thing, and then you thinking just because you feel bad about it, or you go through this whole like I'm so sorry and like love bomb and feel bad for me, I'm such a monster, all those things, that doesn't make up for it. It doesn't make up for what you did. You know what I mean? Because people do that as well. Like they'll fuck you over, and then once they fuck you over, they'll go through this whole like song and dance and drama of like, I'm so sorry, I'm such a bad person, I hate myself, oh my god, and then you feel bad for them, so you forgive them, and then you let them back in your life, and then they fuck you over again, and then like the same cycle continues over and over again. So I like that they hit on that. Also hitting on the fact that you're always blaming your past and your substance abuse and your bad behavior. You can't keep doing that, but then really showing the darkness and the torture and the trauma that this character is really going through. That constant feeling of agony. I know, I remember what that feels like. That's why I'm drawn to stuff like this. I don't watch depressing shit all the time, but like I can also relate, because I went through my own very bad bedridden depression that almost took me out, you know what I mean? And I know what that feels like, that you feel like you're being tormented agonizingly so every single second of your life, and the whole like putting the foot down on the gas and just wanting to disappear and not wake up and not come back. Like, I know that feeling, and I think they portray that as well. He's an asshole, but he's an asshole who's suffering. But just because you're suffering doesn't mean you get to continue being an asshole. You know what I mean? And are you a good person if you constantly keep fucking over people and you never correct your behavior? Are you a good person after that? Anyway, guys, as we're getting really dark, let me know what you guys think of this. Do you watch Bojack Horseman? I think that's the name of it. And if you do, is it really this depressing the entire series? Like, is it ever like a ha ha ha? Like, is it ever funny? Let me know. Maybe I'll start watching the series. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell to get the notifications when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. Please donate. It keeps me on this platform. And you guys have an amazing day. Bye.
Usually when people ask how I'm doing, the real answer is I'm doing shitty. But I can't say I'm doing shitty because I don't even have a good reason to be doing shitty. So if I say I'm doing shitty, then they say, why? What's wrong?